Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights, and welcome to a beautiful Sunday morning out here on the observation deck. Very nice temperatures, light breeze. It's just gorgeous out here today. Fall is coming soon, and that's one of my favorite seasons. But folks, I'm really excited today. I'm excited to give you a review of this Victorinox Rescue Tool. I'm behind the game. This rescue tool came out in 2007, and I sure wish I'd have known about it before. This is just a fantastic tool, and we're going to be going through the features of this tool, and I'll tell you why I'm so excited about this. So we are going to be looking at this Victorinox Rescue Tool. It's innovative, it's award-winning, and there's just an overview shot of it here, and I'll be getting into all of the innovative features here in just a moment. But we'll take a look at the box. Your Victorinox box, and this is a model number 0.82623.MWN-X4 Rescue Tool Yellow. So just kind of a standard Victorinox box, and then it comes with the user's guide here with all kinds of different instructions. There is also an instructional video on the Victorinox website. The knife comes with this nylon pouch, nice Victorinox emblem there, Velcro opening and closing, and it looks to be pretty well made, pretty sturdy. Nice wide belt loop, and that's important because this was designed for first responders. So if you're a peace officer or the like, and you wear a big heavy thick duty belt, well, you got plenty of room there to get your duty belt through this. So here's an option to wear it in a pouch. Now before we get through the innovations here, let's just take a look at what's kind of common as rescue knives, or something you'd find in truck stops and flea markets and like that. Here's a couple examples here. Of course, this is a special one for me because Mrs. KD bought this for me. But I think it's assisted opening. Not a bad knife, but it is a knife. And you can see how pointed that is. Drop point there, modified drop point blade. A little bit of serration there. And we're going to see why this is not the best blade for a rescue knife. And then it's a liner lock. And got your glass breaker here. Seat belt cutter here. The knife is clunky. It's heavy and clunky. It's aluminum. But it does have a pocket clip, but these are uncomfortable to carry in your pocket. Here's just another example here. This is called the 5-in-1 EDC, kind of another example of a rescue knife. Again, you got partial serrations there. Look at that nice sharp pointy end, but not good for a rescue knife. Again, we'll get into that. It's got a little flashlight here. The battery's dead on this one. Again, a liner lock. Belt clip there, glass breaker, seat belt cutter. Yep. So these are probably this is probably a $10 or $15 knife. I think this was around $20-25, something like that. Now, I don't wish to denigrate these knives. They serve a purpose. I have several of these because they are inexpensive, and I can keep one in each vehicle and keep one in a rescue kit, and it doesn't break the bank, so you can buy multiple of them and put them in multiple places. Now, as many of you know, I am a former peace officer, and so I always had first aid and rescue on my mind. I was also a member of the town's volunteer ambulance crew at one time. So rescue was always on my mind, and in my current job, while not a public servant, working armed security, I'm still called upon, looked upon to provide rescue and emergency first aid if necessary. And so that's why when I learned about this knife, I kept thinking about getting one, and it's taken a while, but I finally have gotten one. And folks, this is hands down one of the best, rescue tools that comes in a a multi-tool or a knife format that I have found and I've come across. Now, I did say that I was late to the game because in 2007, I think that's when this knife came out, it was named Knife of the Year by the IWA. And I'm not sure what that all stands for. I is for international, as A is for association. Not quite sure what the W stands for, but as one website put it, you can consider the IWA's annual event very similar to what we would call a SHOT Show here in the States. So it's a European version of SHOT Show. So it was quite an award for them to get this. According to the Victorinox website, they spent a lot of time working with first responders and getting their input on the design of this knife. Now I have some slides that I can insert here. I won't leave them on here long. You can pause and check out all the information, but I've got all the stats, the specs on it. You know, the height of 0.8 inches, length overall, or closed length is 4.4 inches. One thing that is significant here is it does weigh 5.9 ounces, so right at 6 ounces. This is heavy. As a matter of fact, when I first opened the box and held this in my hand, I thought, boy, this is a nice, heavy-duty, beefy knife. It does have 2 locking blades to it, and we will go over that. And let me see here. It's got a total of 13 features, and of course the color is yellow. And it does also come in black. But I chose the yellow for a specific reason, and right about now I'm going to insert a little experiment I did because these should be fluorescent handles, so I just wanted to see how well they glowed in the dark. So check this out. Okay, let's open this bad boy up and let's just see what we've got. Oh, price. The price on this, the going price seems to be $115 on most of the knife outlets, but I was able to find this one for $107, and that came with free shipping. So saved about $8 there and got free shipping. So, main blade here. Nice big thumb hole there for a one-handed opening. And there is your main blade. Now, in the opposite of the other blades that we saw, they were mostly sharpened edge with a little bit of serrations. This one here is mostly serrations with just a little bit of a cutting edge. Now, remember, this isn't meant to be a camp knife. It's not meant to be a hunting knife. It's not meant to chop wood with or anything, baton wood with or anything like that. Remember, this is a rescue knife. And you'll notice here on the blade how it's rounded over. That's important because if you're trying to get into tight spaces and getting that serration in there to cut something, if you're against a patient, why, you're not going to be poking and stabbing your patient. And that's why I said, like on these here, if you're trying to get in tight somewhere to get to those serrations, you know, you could damage somebody. You could really hurt somebody with that. So that is very important. This is a liner lock blade. However, it is backwards, if you will. Push it over there and it closes shut again. The fit and finish on this knife, it feels comfortable. Now you do have these things protruding, but again, you're mostly going to be using this for sawing and things like that. So that's not going to be a problem. Nice heavy duty blade there. Next, I want to show you the bottle opener, and this is a special feature and again innovation. We look at this blade here. It's big, it's more heavy duty than your normal cap lifter. Of course, screwdriver end to it, has a half stop to it, and it is locking. It is a liner lock. And just for good measure, they did put the wire stripping tool on there also. But what is different about this? Well, as you can see, that edge is beveled right there. And this is super thick and it locks. And the reason for this is, well, if you can't break a glass, a rear window or a side window, and you can't get through the windshield by breaking it, you can use your knife blade to cut the rubber around your windshield, and then with this here you can get down underneath and you can pry. So this is also meant to be a pry tool. How handy is that? Now obviously I don't have a car to demonstrate on. Maybe someday. I've always been looking forward to finding an old car to test all of these out on. Maybe someday I'll have the opportunity to do that. But go to the Victorinox website, look up for the rescue tool, and they do have a video showing how all of these features work. So that's another innovation there. Heavy duty combination cap lifter and pry bar with a liner lock. Okay, we do have the reamer and the screwdriver, Phillips screwdriver down here on the bottom. Although that one was hard to get to, there it is. So just a couple standard tools for fair measure. Of course we got our window breaker. And that's where you would take your tool and slam into the window and hopefully get it to crack. The nice thing about this is there's no sharp edges here. Now, in an ideal world, ideal situation, you'd want to have some heavy duty leather gloves on when you're doing this. But if it's along the roadside and it's life and death, the car's on fire and you got to get them out, why, hey, you might have to just, take a little risk to yourself. But you can grip that as opposed to these style knives. If you're gripping them like this to go down and cut, you see how your little finger gets down in there? So that's not the ideal situation. This glass breaker is replaceable, and after this does pull out, I have not gone through the instructions to see how you take this out, but they said it's easy to do. So if you ever have to use this, you can order a new one and replace it, which is something they do recommend. Okay, so along with the glass breaker comes the windshield saw. Nope, that's not the windshield saw. Hold on. Grabbed the wrong one here. This is our windshield saw. Another innovation. So again, you can't get into one of the side windows. So you use your glass breaker on the windshield and you get a hole poked into it, and then you can insert this saw down into the hole, and it's designed so you grab it and you stroke back with it, cutting up this way with it, pulling back towards you, and you can actually saw through the glass with this windshield knife. This blade is the other replaceable blade. Again, if you ever actually had to use it, it would behoove you to order a new one and have it replaced, so you always have a sharp one on here. Okay, our next feature here is the seatbelt cutter. And it is right here. No, it's not. Here we go. Again, with the seatbelt cutter, you'll notice how it's rounded off here. Again, if you're having to get in close between the seatbelt and your patient, you don't want to be poking your patient. Remember how this one was. Trying to get down in underneath it, and you stab your patient. This is nice and wide. It's extremely sharp, and you can place this underneath the seat belt and just pull up on it, or maybe you have to saw just a little bit like this, and you can cut your seat belt. And again, that is a heavy-duty, thick blade. Now, I do have just a very thin nylon strap here. It's obviously nowhere near the thickness of a seat belt. I'm going to try to demonstrate this, although it's a little tricky behind the tripod here. But again, see how you can stick this down under there and you're not poking your patient whatsoever. And you get it slid down in there, get it turned up, and boy, it just cut right through it. Of course, this is thin stuff, but you get the picture. Alright, one of the last things I wanted to show you is you saw that you can wear this in a belt pouch. However, working for a private corporation, I have to be careful about the things that I put on my duty belt. I may seek permission to be able to wear this on my duty belt, but in case they don't want that on my belt for whatever reason, we do wear these tactical style pants. So you can see I got a front pocket here. It'll slide right down in there. No one's the wiser. I have this with me. Got there. I also got side cargo pockets. Got my flashlight here. And I can put it in here. I'm right-handed. I can put it in that pocket. Or I might shift the flashlight over to here and put this in here, because it's about the same weight almost. But you can see, and there's little slots down inside these cargo pants. So easily accessible. Well, I'll tell you what, this was a fun knife to get, very fun knife to review. Now, is this knife for you? Do you want to invest that much money in a rescue knife? Well, that's your decision. As I stated before, I guess I'm public safety minded or rescue minded. It's very nice to have. Even if I'm not at work, I can put it on the pouch, I can wear it on my belt. To me, this is more valuable than a Leatherman. I've got some multi-tools, you know, inexpensive ones, cheap ones if you will, that I got in some kits. I've always got one of them around, but to actually have on me, I just really like to have this. If I'm in an accident myself, if I've got passengers in my own car, or it's myself, maybe I'm by myself, find myself upside down in the ditch and all strapped in and can't get out. Hopefully I can get to this right on my person here and get it out and be able to, you know, one hand open and cut myself out. This is the decision that you need to make for yourself. This is an investment, but if you're looking for a good rescue tool, I highly recommend this. And my only regret is I waited so long to get one. So until next time, everybody, have a very delightful day.